No, I'm just going to ask you a few random ones first. So you live in Denmead?
That's right, Denmead.
Where's that?
That's about 10 miles from Portsmouth.
And is it the centre of the filmmaking universe?
Not exactly, no. I'd say for this country you've still got to go to London if you want the centre of the old school filmmaking style.
What happens in Denmead?
Not a lot. Parish councillors vote on signposts.
So let's have a look at the list. Let's ask you a couple of questions on there. Oh yeah, let's ask. So what's your day job?
Okay, so my day job is basically I'm an IT analyst and problem solver. I work for a company called Cargill, which is an American company. They're basically a commodities trader, and I deal with the IT systems that support that business.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm actually 42, and I'm 42 today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You're tripping. You didn't keep that quiet.
I always keep my birthday very quiet. August the 29th is when Skynet goes live.
You're joking. What are you doing for your birthday?
I don't really, it's just a normal day.
You're not doing anything at all?
Might get a takeaway tonight, but that'll be about it.
Well, we've got to go to the pub.
Yeah.
You're not driving, so I can get you a tequila. Wow, it's your birthday today.
It is August 29th.
Have you ever had a birthday party?
Yeah, probably last one I had was probably when I was about 14.
What happened at that?
Had a few mates round and we went for a walk around Butser Hill.
No drinking or...
Not at that age, no.
Oh, 14. Well, you know, these days.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Pub then, is it? Rather than precariously wondering if this is a public field or not. Get the sunbeams in.
Oh, it was looking good just then. You did say earlier on, what was it you said? Something about, I care about this, not about how it's lit.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's all about the content, innit? It's all about the story.
So just turn around just slightly. That's better. Okay. If you don't already, do you work in film?
Not in any way that earns me any money. It depends what you call work. But I'm on the fringe of the independent film industry and have been since the mid-90s.
So it exists?
What, the industry?
The independent film industry?
Not as an industry, no.
So there's no body?
Not... Well, there is... There's nothing I would say that people would know in the street.
So you don't get funded from the BFI?
No.
Do you ever try and get funding?
I haven't done that for a long time. It's a lot of work for no payback usually. You know, it's not worth doing.
What got you into making film? We've already done that.
Yeah.
Did you study or go into film school?
The closest I came to that, I did a foundation in film course, which was a 2-week part-time course in London, which was run. It was called the Panico Film Workshop, which was run by the sound recordist who did the sound for all the Monty Python films. It's a very good course, actually.
How long was that?
It was. I think it was a couple of hours each evening, and then a full weekend workshop.
For how long?
That was over 2 weeks, over a fortnight.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't catch you said that already. Would you recommend that anyone? Do you think that's the first thing or the last thing people should do if they're thinking about making a film? Go to film school.
I think it depends on what sort of person you are. Personally, I think there's no better way to learn than by actually doing something. And even though a lot of film schools do have a practical aspect, you're not really in the real world for as long as you're in any sort of school.
What's your favourite movie? Have you got one?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'd say the one I'm most emotionally attached to is The Empire Strikes Back.
What's your favourite movie in the last 10 years?
What's that one called about? What's that one called where the guy ends up in a pile of shit and it's about sat navs and stuff, and that sticks in my mind as something just quirky enough that I want to watch it again, but I can never remember what it's called. What was it? You know what it is?
Headhunters.
Is it? Oh, Headhunters. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I don't know, but then can it be my favourite movie if I can't even remember what it was called? Probably not.
Do you go to the cinema much?
Not really. Don't get the opportunity, and it does cost quite a lot of money nowadays. Although I've heard there's a £4 cinema in Romford, which could be worth checking out someday.
You're not supposed to be party to the other interviews. Couple more. Are there any films or people? Well, you already talked about Star Wars. So, I was going to ask you, what's your favourite film out of your colleagues or contemporaries? Do you watch many other films? That you watch quite a few films that other people have made.
What, locally, or you mean?
Well, just either locally or you edit a fair few.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
So, have you got a favourite one of someone else's, or is that unfair to say?
Not that I've edited, really.
You don't like any of the ones you've edited?
Well, it's not that I don't like them, it's just that once you're that close to them, once you've done the editing, it's impossible to be objective.
So editing any movie is the same. It's a bit like working on it.
Yeah, you don't know if it's art or shit, really.
So you can't really tell any of your movies whether they're any good or not. It's too...
Really, only audiences can decide that, but whether it's an audience of 1 or 1,000 or somewhere in between, it is all that thing about finding the audience. I think every style of film has an audience. What's that? That probably won't... Oh. So what's next?
So this is the big question. What's your, why do you do it? What's your personal motivation?
Well, I did think about this quite a lot earlier, and I came to the conclusion that I'm still in the scene, so to speak, because and for whatever reason I feel kind of like this responsibility to help these ideas become finished and become presentable, whether it's my own idea or somebody else's idea. I just somehow feel responsible to get it out there, and with my own films I kind of have a feeling of responsibility that I need to somehow try and make people think, or at least spark something, which is why they end up as art and expression more than like maybe a typical Hollywood film. Because Hollywood films aren't necessarily there to make you think. I'd say the best Hollywood films are the ones that are multi-layered and can make you think. So it's not just mindless entertainment. But yeah, I think it's about self-expression and getting something of your personality out there, for better or for worse.
So, do you, just on the genre thing, do you make a particular type of movie?
Well,
do you think your movies have got anything, for instance, have they got anything in common, or do you always try and do something different?
Well, different approaches, but I think ultimately whether it's obvious or not, I've done a comedy, I've done a semi-drama, I've done a science fiction, but ultimately, my favourite type of movie is the mindfuck, and I always put an element of mind fuck in all my films, whether you notice it or not. So in the comedy, it might not be that obvious that there's a story there that's sort of a bit surreal, but if you look for it, it's there.